Guten Morgen. How we doing? ¿Cómo están las buses? Hey, well, I'm reminded that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, however, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Hey, Marina. What's going on? Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you can't afford to lose. We do these sessions every single day, Monday through Friday here at forex.today, except tomorrow I'll be over at FX Street. Trade non-farm payrolls live, number 100 and, I don't know, does anybody know? I think it's about 132. 132 months in a row. Don't really know. I don't know, out there, 11 years, 11 something years. Cool. But I'm here every single day otherwise for you at forex.today. My name is Wayne McDonald. I am the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay.com. Namaste. Please visit TradersWay.com and open an account today. I want to help you succeed, because as a broker, then you actually stick around and trade for years and 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 years. But most scumbag brokers, they just want you to pop money into an account, blow up the account. They never enter the money into the interbanking system, and they just assume you're going to lose all your money, and they keep the 500 bucks. We'd rather you succeed and be a client for many, many, many happy years with us. So the execution speed is quick, customer service is great, and the fees are very competitive. We want to be your trading partner. We want to be your prime broker. Now, seriously, how many sales pitches do you hear like that from other businesses? Any? Yeah. So I hope you don't mind me being frank. Okay? That's how we're going to take over the world. Treat you with respect. Do what we can to either help you or get out of the way. Okay, so where are we? I fixed the watermark, I think. So Cash says, oh, but you're not regulated in Australia. Well, you want to be regulated in Australia? I'm sure you'll find somebody. All right, so Mexico. Oh, let's confirm. Can you guys see my charts okay? Cool. All right, so it's the first of the month. We got to look at our friend, the peso. Beginning the last day of the month and the first day of the month, in that period, and of course the first Friday of the month, which is not always NFP, but usually, that little window is a time period, no matter what's happening, whether the peso's super weak or super strong, it don't matter none. The assumption is right in that window, the USD Mexican peso will fall. It might fall for a day, it might fall for 3 days, it might fall for a week, it might fall for 3 weeks. We don't know. But what we're assuming is repatriation flows. So this line, yes, I drew, that's when the US stock market opened yesterday. And this little doji kind of spinning top, that's our discussion yesterday. That's our webinar yesterday. Wicked smart, right? And somebody said yesterday that they were selling in here. And I said, look, you're selling at 3 o'clock in the morning How many people are standing at Western Union sending money home at 3 o'clock in the morning the day before they get paid? Or the morning before they get paid? It's kind of a funny analogy, right? Okay. So it's interesting, right? So this spinning top and then the following, right, is the open of US banks and the open of US trading. Better timing, same idea, same exact idea. A few hours difference made all the difference, right? It's like 60% of the time, it works every time. Cool, right? So what's going to happen today? I don't know. Well, maybe we should have a plan. Oh! What kind of plan would we have for today? Walk me through a trade plan. Would you plan for this going up and making higher highs, or would you plan for this coming down and making lower lows? Yeah, Chuck's like, there's a plan? Sell it pulled back. Oh, I don't like the language. You're not wrong. I don't like the language, Michael. Let's be more specific. Okay, double top. In this case, you'd almost call it a triple top. But let's say, how about sell up here at price resistance, at market resistance? Monthly central pivot, monthly or weekly R1, top. Cool. I'm better with that. See, it might be the same, like, now Michael's thinking like sell a pullback. When you say that, this is what it means to me. And I'm not disagreeing with you, but it's too vague. Because you can always sell a pullback. You can always buy a pullback, right? Oops. So how could you rephrase it? No, that's even worse, Charles. Oh my gosh. No way. Oh, I don't like that. That sounds like a guess. If you want to do that, Charles, I'd say if price comes up in here, drop in a 1 minute and catch a 5A cross down. I don't care how many pips away it is from resistance, you're going to be close. But when you say things like sell at 10 pips from here, you're just gambling. You're like, I bet you anything it's going to, it's going to kick off of resistance. I don't like that. I don't like that either. And I'm being picky here. But imagine we were at a bank or at a hedge fund, and I'm the senior trader, and I have a trading desk, foreign currency traders, and I'm mentoring as we go. Right? I got to be nitpicky here. You might do the exact same thing as me, but not for the right reasons or not the right way, right? So, okay, Ryan's got it. Let's identify several levels of resistance. Right. Okay, good. So in that case, I would say previous support was here, and that may act as resistance in the near future. So let's do it that way. Okay, so that gives me a couple of things here. Now, so going back to Michael's, sell the pullback, it's exactly the same as that. It's exactly the same, but as they say in Canada, it's the same, only different. Okay? I don't want you to get in the habit of selling Fibonacci retracements for the sake of selling Fibonacci retracements. Okay? Because not everybody's using Fibonacci. Now, you could say, well, this role reversal is a great 3A2. Okay, fine. Okay? Oh, look at that. Whoa. Look at that. Interesting how it draws it. The other watermark, you couldn't move it. Interesting. All right, so anyway, so I don't want you to blindly sell a 3A2. Gee whiz, now I can't even. Oh, funny, huh? There we go. Now I don't like that watermark. I don't want you to sell it because it's a 382, okay? But looking for role reversals and stuff in here is better, okay? So if you saw it act as resistance, so let's say, let me mark it slightly different, only the same. Let's do it like, well, this is where we are now, okay? Okay. There's also sort of a micro one in here if you wanted to be so bold. I can't be that bold, that's too bold. Okay, but anyway, so now you got your lines, and you see, then you drop smaller. Yeah, Ryan, I installed about 4 watermarks. And this one, you get it going. I hate the little mini M. And then you install it, and it comes out like black. Like black! So you have to monkey around with it to finally get the proper gray by changing the patent colors, patent numbers. So, but now it looks like it does it in such a way that you can move it, which is kind of weird. But I guess in some point, at sometimes that might actually be cool. So I don't know. Can't complain. Of course I can complain. But anyways, so that's what I'd rather you do as a technician. You know. Oops. Like that. Or like that. Or like that. These are all areas where if you saw a reversal pattern, you should be hot to go HOTTOGO to the downside. So that means you have a bias, you're bear, you have fundamental and technical reasons to be a bear because, you know, this low is lower than that low. So, you know, we should stay lower than this high, right? So you have technical reasons, you have fundamental reasons, and now you're sitting and waiting. And what you're telling the world, because you have a trade plan, is that you're going to look for an opportunity to sell here, okay, or here, which is less desirable just because it's not as hardcore as resistance, but certainly here, okay? You're ready to fire now, and if it heads up here and rolls over, you're going to fire for effect, right? Even though it has been just a short period of time, can we start considering a new bias? Yeah, Joe, if you want to bring it uptown, sure. Yeah, that's just simply your bias. You're like, okay, it's done. The repatriation's done. That's fine. Okay? And look what I added down here. Deep pink. I love deep pink. Let's do dark olive green for the US dollar. Yeah. Yeah. Dixie. Dollar index. DX. Why? Because I can. And there should be an inverse correlation. Well, no, I made one too. If you remember maybe a year ago, Ryan, I made one. This isn't it, right? But you just need to calculate relative strength of the dollar versus all currency pairs, right? So it's just someone else doing this. I don't know if they're pulling it off. This might just be pulled off Yahoo or something. I doubt it's actually calculating, you know, dollar versus pound, dollar versus euro, but it could. It's not the world's most complicated thing. So Yeah, it's let's just say it tries to simulate the dollar index. Yeah, yeah, something. It's just a thing, right? But what, according to this, what tends to happen when the dollar index, or this is just called the index, when this index is falling, how does that seem to impact the USD Mexican peso? Yeah, well, Michael says should make the peso strong. Oh, I'm going to be picky again. uh, Michael, does it actually make the peso weak or strong? Because remember, this isn't, right? This index isn't the US dollar versus the peso, because that's what this is up here. This is supposed to be the dollar versus everything. So it just so happens, whether the Mexican peso is strong or weak, that's my point. Whether the peso is strong or weak is irrelevant, because it's probably not even in this calculation. Okay, you see what I mean? I doubt the peso is even in this calculation. It just so happens when the US dollar is weak, the USD Mexican peso performs better to the downside, right? You see what I mean? It's not A causes B, but B is it, B is relative to A. Okay? I gotta be, if I'm mentoring you, I gotta be picky, right? Yeah. So, so I'm gonna start bullet pointing the scalping course. So that there'll be a scalping course and, oh, thank you, FX Ambassador, namaste. I'm going to start bullet pointing so I can record, I imagine it's going to be 4 or 5 hours of videos on scalping. Yeah, Marina, people asked me to do a scalping course, and then I realized, and I said, no, I don't have time for this. But then I realized I'm going to be away at Harvard for 3 weeks. And like, what the hell are you guys going to do for 3 weeks? Right? And then I'm like, well, if I create a scalping course, then you can sign up and pay for a scalping course if you want to pay. So yeah, it's a sales pitch. I'm sorry. But then I thought, why don't I bundle all the courses together? Because it's only, if you took a 5-hour scalping course, it's not going to fill you 3 weeks, right? So I thought, well, why don't I bundle all the videos together and call it summer school and offer like a crazy, ridiculous discount, and it'd just give you like 30 hours worth of stuff to do while I'm gone. Cool. Yeah. So there's regular scalping, there's market open scalping, like the open of gold, the open of oil, the open of US or London stock markets. There's news scalping. There's there's a lot of things to do, right? There's gap scalping, gap closes. Like gee whiz, there's a lot, right? Well, I have to bullet point it and record it next week, I guess. So, anyways. And then I got to go to Harvard. Oh, One of my classes is in one of the most historic buildings at Harvard. Oh, I'm so happy. I was bummed out that one of them wasn't. I'm like, oh, what? One of them is. Here, I'll show you. Can I open browsers on this thing? I don't think so. Check out this. Check out this thing. Ho, 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 ho. That's where I'm going to be spending my summer. Ho, ho, what? Right in the center of Harvard Yard, huh? Oh, here it is. Look at that. Yeah, Sieber Hall, right in the middle of Harvard Yard. Oh my God, I'm so happy. Yeah, oh yeah, an email will go out to everybody, but it'll be on FX Bootcamp. NTEX, yeah. Look, I'm just a simple boy from Saskatchewan, NTEX. Yeah, but the funny thing, NTEX, that's actually considered one of the newer buildings. So you're like, oh, that's modern. Yeah, built in 1870. Yeah. The one across the way was built in 1670. The one across the way is 200 years older than that. That's old for America. It's older than the United States. And that's where they had my, one of my finals just last semester was held in a building made in 1670. I mean, you know what I mean? Look at that, NTEX, and so is my house, yeah. Look, my house was built in like 1986, and I think it's old. Like, this place is old, man. Old. 1986, oh my God. All right, so let's get off of this. Got to do oil. Hey, amazing that it reversed it at the support pivot yesterday, huh? Isn't that amazing? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, or how about this? Confirm. Let's confirm this. Were we saying 48 as a bottom? Maybe 44, but more like 48. Like, I think we're kind of like, there's no reason for it to be really lower. I mean, it could go to 44. What's the difference? But there was no real reason. And we looked at it in the past. There was some nonsense going on in there. Like, it's just sort of like a place to maybe start buying, right? And I still think this, and I was thinking about this in my meditation this morning too, right? That I want to be, I still want to be a bull. Now, yesterday's oil inventories, it's not the major inventory data, okay, but it is an inventory data, and it was the largest drawdown in almost a year. Today is the real oil inventory, but let's talk about this. When am I supposing, which is not a good thing, but when do I suppose peak oil occurs throughout the year based on the seasonality of oil inventories? Don't say summer, Joe, come on. Come on, don't say summer. June 1st. Thank you, Adam. And Adam, when did you first hear that from me? Was it this year? Was it last year? Was it 5 years ago? Was it 8 years ago? Adam's been around a while. How long have you known this? From the, yeah, long time, right? I'm not making it up, right? Daniel's saying like 8 years ago he heard that from me. Yeah. No, that's all right, Joe. That's all right. Oh, come here. Give Papa Bear a hug. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay, man. Yeah. No, it's okay. So this is in my mind. Whether it can't be true because it's 50 years worth of data, and the last 10 years are not in that data, and the last 10 years have been unusual. Okay, so I get it. You got to take it with a grain of salt. It's old data. There's new stuff. Blah 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 blah. But it's still in the back of my mind, right? June 1st, based on my research of 50 years of data, June 1st is generally the peak in oil inventories. Now we've been drawing it down for a while, but based on yesterday's report, again, not the big report, but a report, we got the biggest drawdown now, even though it's 4 weeks in a row now. The drawdown yesterday was the largest in almost a year. The day before June 1st, that's an amazing coincidence, isn't it? That's an amazing coincidence. So now the big oil inventories report's coming out today. Typically it comes out Wednesday, but Monday was a holiday. Government workers can't possibly put in extra time. Okay. Okay. So, yes, Chuck, it is. Charles is looking around. Who's Chuck? How come he keeps, he never answers my question. He always talks to Chuck. Yeah, Charles, do you have an outrageous English accent, preferably London? No? All right. Your name is Chuck. Now, if you did have an outrageous London accent, I would have to call you Sir Charles, right? I mean, just, but yeah. Oh, is it? G'day, Chuck. Ripper. Javier. No, that's for George, man. But anyways. All right. Yeah. So anyways, is it going to come down? I don't know. I don't know. But, you know, it's one of these things. And here's what I was thinking about earlier today in my meditation. I was thinking I might be a bull now, but I don't expect it to go up. So it's a little dangerous, isn't it? I don't expect it to go up, but I think there's even less reason for it to go down. So OPEC cuts inventories. Great, 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 great. The trend in supply, right, inventories is down. OPEC is cutting, so they're not going to add more, okay? Which doesn't mean less, it just means not more. So these things are kind of talking bottom, not up, but less likely down. And now the frackers, what are they going to do? Do they want to keep pushing prices down? You see what I mean? So nobody benefits on the way down. But it doesn't mean up. These glasses, not quite right. Anyways, right? So bottom, so maybe tiptoe up trickle up. And honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if they did go up a bit. So we're below 50 now. I'm thinking we go above 50 and stay above 50. But I don't think between now and the end of the year there's a reason to go lower. You see what I mean? So does that mean buy? Yeah, could be. Now, it's not as good as currencies though, right? Because if I bought and hold, I'd probably get paid interest. Okay. So I might just buy, jam a stop, and if I get knocked out of break even, oh well. So I don't know. I don't know how to play it, but I'm less bearish. Certainly at these prices, I'm not bearish. Okay, how about that way? I'm bearish at 65 now, and I think we could get through 52, 54, but 60, I don't know. So anyways, I'm less bearish. I'm not necessarily bullish, but anyways. Did I miss the 8:30? No? All right, we got some action here. Let me just check the news. OPEC. Oops. News. Just do it this way. Okay, but we did oil. You got to pay attention to CAD. Do I have to show it? I guess I have to show it. So see, at least the watermark works now, huh? Oh, that's right, ADP. That's right. Thank you for that. ADP, another dumb prediction. But how are we here? Well, if you're a monthly swinger, check out this, huh? That's a ridiculous buy zone, isn't it? You're bullish on the US dollar, bearish on the Canadian dollar. Okay. That little yellow zone is predicting this. So we're $1.35 and we're going for $1.38.5. Plus we're already low, or we're already high relative. So the entry is probably closer to it's down here, 132. No, 134.50 to 138.50. So it's 400 pips. Okay. And it's a 618 Fibonacci retracement as well, which would predict a 1382 Fibonacci extension, which actually is putting us closer to R2. No, 1382 is $1.40. You think we're going to have a big run on the dollar? Well, that means the Fed's going to have to raise interest rates and then clearly indicate they're going to raise interest rates 2 more times. Is that right, Cash? I mean, I like this one for obvious reasons. So this shows us, the red line shows us what's already happened. So you can see the next thing coming up is ADP, followed by initial jobless claims, Canadian manufacturing data, US manufacturing data. And then at 10, we have ISM manufacturing. I care more about ISM services, but that happens after non-farm payrolls. Okay? And then a quick look ahead, you can just zip up tomorrow. German PMI, Euro PPI, right? Non-farm payrolls and trade balance, but no ISM services. That would come out next week over here. See, it's beautiful, isn't it? Here it is. Monday, 10 o'clock, ISM services. Yeah, which ruins our model. I think this is a great calendar. So we're about 90 seconds away.
Just under 30 seconds for the ADP. Again, this is May data, expected to rise by 180,000, slightly above last month's reading of 177,000.
I've been using tradethenews.com for 10 years, I think now.
ADP May employment change comes in plus 253,000, big beat there for ADP.
253, whoop, whoop, whoop. Let's see, USD-yen straight up like a rocket ship. Euro-yen straight up. USD-CAD, nice. Peso. Peso holding, huh? So so what is the world saying about why these particular moves? Why dollar up? Why gold down? That kind of stuff. Correct. Ryan's got it. Implies we could see a rate hike, or implies we will see a rate hike. Okay. Now don't forget, despite all that news, $2.3 trillion is going to move to Mexico today. Okay. Yeah, well, James says no move in USD Mexican peso. Why? Because despite that, 2.36 billion is still going to be purchased in Mexican peso today. Right? Hayden says, I don't trust the ADP report. Why not? What do you mean, don't trust it? What's wrong with it, Hayden? No. Tell me what you're talking about. It's never been off. It's precise every time. So what do you mean? Talk to me, Goose. No, seriously, it's never off. I don't know what you mean. So tell me more and we can talk about it. You don't trust it, it's way off too many times. I don't know what that means. They count the number of paychecks they sent to their clients. They're a paycheck company. So it's not off. They know. So what do you mean? No, it can't objectively be wrong. They sent out a number of paychecks. It's factual. So I'm not poo-pooing on Hayden. I want to know what Hayden means, and then we can talk about that. Differs from other payroll reports. Ojo says. Yeah, no, yeah, Ryan says research shows. Well, you got to be careful because that's my research that Kurt Worley did for me, and that was a long time ago. I could argue against that, Ryan. So I know. So I got to be careful. You need to be careful, and I need to. Everyone needs to be careful. That's old research. Over the last 10 years since the financial crisis, there's been a high correlation, extremely high correlation, because of the influence of the central bank over the economy. So NFP would go up, ADP would go up, ADP would go up, NFP would go up, but it's all the manipulation of the economy by the central bank, which is their actual job, right? But before that, in normal market conditions, without the manipulation of the central bank, there was ADP did not predict the outcome of the NFP, not positively, not negatively, just no correlation whatsoever. Okay, but then there was a high correlation for the last 8 years, right? So that's why I'm like, whoa. You're not wrong, but we got to be careful because for the last 8 years, there was a high correlation. Now, did ADP predict NFP in the real world? No, it doesn't predict anything. It just is. Okay, so that's why I wanted to hear from Hayden, right? Where he said, it's way off. Well, I don't know what that means. It always is. Now, if Hayden says, well, it's supposed to predict non-farm payrolls, then I would challenge that and say, well, no. In fact, they're two different reports with two different methodologies completely. ADP is done by a payroll company, and they add up all the payroll checks. So that's that. Does it represent the entire economy? No. It represents the client base, right? Then you look at non-farm payrolls, but actually, if you look on the list of government reports, there isn't anything called non-farm payrolls. There's the employment situation report, and there's the household survey, or the establishment. Sorry, the employment situation report consists of the establishment survey and the household survey. The establishment survey is the government surveying some paychecks from some businesses. And then the household survey are surveys of households, and they ask different questions. They don't look at pay stubs. They just ask people, do people in this household have a job? They don't say, you know, so if one person says, yes, I have a full-time job, and someone else says, well, I have 3 part-time jobs, you know, they don't write down 3 part-time jobs. But the 3 part-time jobs would come up in the pay stub, but there's a problem with that because they don't interview and survey every company in the United States or every household in the United States. So what they do is they interview some, it's thousands, but it's not a lot, and then they use fuzzy logic mathematics and they go, boom, they come up with a number. Right? And then they survey a whole bunch more people over time, and then they revise the number a month later. And they could be dramatically off. Like, literally, they could be on a report that's like, let's say 100,000. They could come back and say, no, we're sorry. We said it was 100,000, but it was $200,000. Or the other way around. Oh, 200,000? No, it was 150. And you're like, whoa, statistically, that's like big, right? So you can have these wild swings because it's almost all math. And it's usually guessing, right? Shots in the dark kind of stuff. So when you say, oh, well, ADP is way off. No, it's not. Well, how are you using it? Maybe that way is off. So some people would say, well, a good ADP predicts a good NFP. And historically, let's say over 50 years, that isn't actually true. That's what they do on TV. So if you say, oh, well, you know, I don't like ADP because it's way off, it doesn't predict non-farm payrolls. Well, it never did. So either an idiot on TV or an idiot running a webinar or selling you a forex course or something said, well, you know, you should use ADP to predict non-farm payrolls. Well, they just clearly are not factually correct. They don't know what they're talking about. And most likely what they did is they read someone else's book, and that book was written by someone else that read a bunch of other people's books, right? And spit out garbage into that garbage in, garbage out. And that guy read a book and said, I want to become a forex speaker. I want to be a forex guru. And so they read a bunch of books and then they spit out that garbage. But I can tell you, we went through the actual data. We, meaning I asked Kurt Worley when he worked for me. He was my quantitative analyst, went through the government data, downloaded spreadsheets for years and years and years and years and years, and looked at the numbers, and we graphed it with spot graphs and everything. And he's like, it looked like a shotgun. And the actual data said there was no positive correlation, there's no negative correlation, there's no correlation whatsoever. Right? So, but there's nothing wrong with ADP. It's usually a great scalping opportunity, actually, and that's something that I need to put in the trading course. Right? So, you see how I'm a stickler? But I think it's important. Right? You got to know. You have to know. It can't be just sell a pullback. No. We need to be solid, factual, solid plans, solid communication, and the rest is just misinterpretation and misunderstanding, and that's rarely profitable. Okay? I think this is going to be the sleeper today, huh? The sleeper winner, the one that nobody sees. This is going to be the one where you knew all month this was supposed to go down, And 2 or 3 days later, you look at it, you're like, damn, totally forgot about it, right? Certainly not a sure thing, but you know, don't miss the train. I mean, look at this. We drew that line, right? I mean, the way I remember it is there wasn't a stitch of red when we drew this line here, right? It wasn't like, oh, there's a red candle, let's call that a top. We said that's one of 3 places we're very much likely to see a red candle, right? Right? As far as I'm concerned, we created that red candle. It didn't exist. It wasn't even born yet. So, Hojo, that is something I never know. Even in my own trading, I really don't know where it's going to go because my influence here is none. The only way I can influence is add another trade. But really, it comes down to how many other people want to sell it as well. So the honest answer is don't really know. And is this truly a technical trade? Do you really believe it's going to go like R1, S1, blah, 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 blah? It's going to fall until the repatriation stops. Now, I believe I spoke yesterday or the day before, and I said this could last all the way through Friday, right? Because paycheck on the last day of the month, paycheck on the first day of the month, paycheck at the end of the week. These are when paychecks come in. So maybe this lasts on Monday. But I really don't know. What do I know? What I know is what I taught you in the video that I made 2 or 3 years ago, is that at this time frame here, you should look for USD Mexican peso to fall. That's all I know. How many people have watched the video? Cool. Have you guys actually gone back and wrote a comment telling people that it's factual? That you've now studied it for a year and you know there's some truth to it? Would you do it for me? Hang on. Let's look for it. How to trade the MXN and why it works. There it is. Cool. Okay, can you do that? Watch again and leave your valid comment. So now I expect 25 or 30 comments to be left there today. And if so, then I know who's on my team. And everyone else would be a lurker, huh? Cool. Let's go surfing now. Everybody's learning now. Come on a safari with me. Wow, look at this old EA running. Is there an EA here? Strategy tester. Wow. Does it work? I remember I used to I know when I mentored Daniel many years ago, we used some software for practicing. It was fantastic, and then it stopped working and the company went out of business. But I think that's what this is. Building multiple time frames. Please wait. Wow. So let's change it then. Let's go to the new pivot clusters template. Okay, so that's 4 hour. Let's clean this one up. Daily 4 hour. 4 hour, 1 hour. Let's make this 5 minutes. Let's make this 15 minutes. That's how I like it. And this should be news. Why isn't it there? Do I have it on this laptop? News window. There we go. Apparently we got it didn't have ADP though, huh? Interesting. So that's how I like it, yo. This stuff is not required. I don't know how many Dixies you need. So looking at the 4 hour, she wants to come down for a long time. You see that, guys? This is gorgeous. This says way down. That says down, down. You know, in fact, let me double check before I get all excited. Oh my God! Oh my God! What does this say, swing traders? See, while I'm at summer school and you're at summer school, you're going to learn this. This says we're going to fall back to 108. We're going to fall 400 and something pips, 450. Maybe further. So the conservative is 425 pips. The aggressive is 565 pips. So we'll just say 400 and a quarter, huh? 425. Yeah, that's it. Only 425. Woo! I'm going to go out and spend the money now. Roger that. It's a go. What, Ryan? Why do you like your daily and 4 hour charts vertical? Oh. Down here, you mean? Yeah. Well, technically it's the right. Okay, so let's look at it this way. Okay, 1 hour and 4 hour. This is what we're talking about? Or these ones? See, it comes down to making decisions. I don't need too many candles to make decisions here. I need to know what's going on here. So this like is almost a great lead into like the scalping course. I make my scalping decisions over here. I don't pull the trigger, but I make my decisions. So I don't need much, okay? I don't need much, I don't need to see a lot because I'm only looking at support resistance and where the candle is right this second. And if I wanted more like I just did, I could just go boom. Oh, look at that, yay, and then put it back. Well, what about the hourly chart? Oh, there it is, right? How about the oscillator? Oh, it's gonna go up and then it's gonna come down. Okay, so here's what's gonna happen. You ready? This is how long, I mean, it took me less than 1 second to figure all this out, right? Or maybe let's be less aggressive here. Okay. Cool. So I'm like, yay! So now, those are the decisions. These are strategic charts. My tactical charts for pulling the trigger are over here. So what pivot point is going to make this go up? See, let's say I want to be a scalper. Okay? I'd look at that and drop into here, and I'm already hot to go HOTTOGO if I wanted to scalp long. I could also just keep trading it down, right? And this comes down to biases. Okay? I can keep trading this down. And that's how I use the 1 minute chart. Okay? And of course, very often I do things like this, where I got the 1 minute here and I got the 5 minute here because instead of the 15 because I've already made decisions. See, the key is making decisions. Okay? So up, down, and then eventually back up. This only has week. Oh, where's my monthly? Oh, I see. Wait a minute. Yeah. So, anyways, all right, and I can start combining these things. So, hey, I got to roll. Peace. How many people are committing to leaving comments on that YouTube video? Remember, I made it for you, right? By the way, I had to figure it out myself. I didn't read it in some other guy's book. Okay? So think about how long it took me to figure it out. Okay? And I shared it with you. Now you have it. And now it takes you 25 seconds to write a logical, intelligent comment. Took me years. Took you 35 seconds. You know? I don't know. Do what your mama taught you. Well, do a follow-up, Nuno. Do a follow-up. Say, hey, man, it's been another year, and this is what I have found in my own research watching 12 more of these events. Here's what I found to be true. Write a paragraph, man. So anyways, peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May our profits be above average. I will not be at forex.today tomorrow. I will be at FX Street tomorrow for Trade Non-Farm Payrolls Live number, month 132, 133, something like that. So I'll see you over there, and then I'll be here at forex.today on Monday. I'll be at forex.today on Tuesday. I'll be at forex.today on Wednesday. I'll be at forex.today on Thursday. And I'll be on forex.today on Friday. So, cheers. Beep, 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 beep.
Bye.